Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today, I think we're going to be calling it Delorean Weekend. We're going to be doing two videos, today and tomorrow. Today, we're going to be starting with the next 5 stages of the Fanhome release of Build the Delorean.
Are we back? We're back.
Now, if you remember last time we were working on the suspension and wheels, I think we're going to be doing a little bit more of that in the first part of the video today. So 5 stages today, and as I said, there's going to be 5 stages tomorrow. Although tomorrow is going to be the AI version of me because I'm not here. I'm at the NFL watching the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars at Wembley Stadium. So thought we'd have a Delorean weekend anyway. But if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link on the screen with a QR code that you can scan with your phone. There's also a link in the video description. If you follow that link, it will actually just let the guys know at Fanhome that you've come from the World of Wayne channel. But let's jump straight into it. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to start with stage 12, and as you can see we've got a lot more parts of the rear suspension I'm guessing we're doing now because we've already done the front, and that's looking just like this. We are going to be attaching this to the chassis as well, so I need to bring that up, so by the end of it it's looking just like that. And again, I will show you just through the rest of the magazine here so you can see exactly what you get in each magazine stage as well. It looks like in the next stage we've got another wheel. So here's all the parts for stage 12. Loads of little details here, and the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to be attaching the hub carrier to the radius arm here. So this is just going to go in like that. It's going to be held in with 2 CM screws just into these points here. Quite long screws, these CM screws, but I will put them in a bit of oil. That's going to help drive these in. They are long, so just like this here. Get these all the way in. Now, I'm not going to over tighten these at the moment. I just want to put enough in to keep this into place. Once I've got the second one in, that's when I can tighten it. Excellent, that's not going anywhere. Put that to one side. And the next thing to do is to take this link. It's going to go into this bracket. You see we do have a locating lug at the bottom of the bracket. This link's actually going to go into the hole just here. It's held in with an EM screw. Now, I'm not going to keep telling you that I've dropped this in oil. Just take my advice. If it ends in an M, I am putting it in oil. So there we go. That's into position there. It should be able to move. Bringing over the chassis now, and hopefully you can see on this side, this locating lug is just going to go into the hole here. So this is actually going to go onto this section like this. It's actually going to be held in with a BM screw just through this hole here. So there you go, that's into position, and I'm screwing that BN screw in nice and tight. Perfect. Now the arm that we made right at the start of this stage is going to go onto this lug just at the back here. So it's going to go on like that. It's going to fit over the top there. That's held in with an EM screw. Remember, the EM screws are flange screws here. So, getting that one in. Make sure it's in nice and straight. Perfect. You do want this to have some movement in it. It will be clamped down when we actually put all of this together. So, the part that we just created here is then going to go in between this section here. And you see what I mean? It's going to tighten everything up. It's actually going to be held in with a HM screw through this side here. So this time I'm going to put it in with my hands because I need to get round the back here. So line it up and get that screw through. And remember, oil is so much your friend when you're doing stages like this. Now when you put this through, you want to make sure that the screw engages the hole at the other side and doesn't push it out. Otherwise you're going to bend this bit of metal in here and break it. You don't want to do that. Lowering the arm until you can get it in line with where you need it. As you can see, that's in. It's gone through both sides and it hasn't bent anything there. That's perfect. And I'm going to bring over the shock assembly now, looking like that. And I need one of these really large IM screws. I'm going to put that screw all the way through the hole here. You don't need to screw it in. It should just go all the way through like that. And again, I'm going to put that to one side. And then the last thing to do is get the brake disc and the caliper. And I'm going to put the caliper on the brake disc. Quite simply, it's just going to go on this way here. The caliper behind there. And it's going to be screwed in just through the hole here with an AP screw. Just like that. So the best way to do this bit now is to actually have it upside down. Because we're going to be having this brake disc. It's going to be attaching to here just like this. But we want this arm to be in the middle of this section just here. Now, if you look at the arms I've got already in here, which I've installed in an earlier stage, I think I've made a mistake, because I think this actually goes on this way round. So I'm going to put this in, because if you don't have it this way round, it's not going to fit the hub carrier on the other side. So again, I've left my mistakes in, because if I've done that, chances are you've done that too. And I'm probably going to have to change the other side as well. Just looking at the picture here is what struck me that I might have done something wrong, because here we've got a bend right at the end, and that's where that bend's meant to be. So this is actually going to be going on this way, with this going in here like that. So once these are all lined up, we're going to take the shock assembly, which we put the IM screw through, and that IM screw is going to go through all of these parts just here. So I'm going to get that just in the first one there. Got my screwdriver. And I'll start screwing this, and you want to make sure this IM screw goes through every single one of the bracket, the hub, the shock, and it also attaches to the other side just here. So when that's in, perfect. It should look just like that. Excellent. Turn this over, and on this side now, we do want to put a spring in here. Just going to bend it round so I can put that spring in. And then I want to push this so it goes underneath this bracket here. And that's perfectly in there. And then what I'm going to do is lock this shock into position by pushing down on the suspension so it comes up just there, and holding it in with an EM screw. Again, the EM screw is the flange screw here. So get that in. And that is perfect. So we've got a hub carrier and suspension installed just on the back there. The last thing to do is take this track rod end here, and I've got a part just to put on the end. It's going to go on there like that. That's held in with a BM screw. You need to make sure you put that end in the right way there. So make sure that's in nice and tight. All I'm going to do then is take this bush, and with the larger opening, just put that all the way up so it's nice and comfy just on the end there. And that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 13, we've got another wheel to do. So what we're going to do is assemble the wheel, and we're going to be putting this onto the car. And again, I will show you the rest of the magazine here, looking just like this. There you go. And guess what we're doing in the next stage? Exactly what we just done in this last stage. So here you go. Here's everything in stage 13 here. Put in the metal inside here, which will just go through to the other side. Push that all the way in. And then on the other side, we've got the rim, which we want to line up with those 3 holes there. Best to do that from the underside, I think. Excellent. And that's held in with BP screws. So that's one. And I'll just put the other 2 in. So that now looks like that. And all I'm going to do is bring over the chassis again. And this is going to be going on this side just here. Drop in a washer. And I've got a GM screw just to attach this to the chassis and make that nice and tight. And then the last thing to do is to put this hubcap on, but as I said, I'm going to do all of the hubcaps at the end because I don't know if I need to take these off later on, so I am just going to keep that safe. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 14 then, as you can see, exactly what we did at the very start of this pack. So I'm going to be assembling that together exactly like last time. So by the end of it, it's looking just like that. And again, here is the rest of the magazine. And once again, another wheel after this. So first thing I need, just like last time, is the radius arm and the hub carrier. Once again, hub carrier this way round, it's just going to go in here like that, held in with CM screws. And that's that in place. Put that to one side. We then just need the bracket and the link. This is going to go in here like that, held in with an EM screw. Bring this unit just over to the side like last time. We have got a locating lug at the bottom here. So that's going to go in there, held in with a BM screw. We're going to put the hub carrier just into this point here, like that. Again, held in with an EM screw. I'm going to be attaching these together, just like last time. These are going to be attached together just like this, with a HM screw going in from this direction here, from the rear of the car here. Ensure that when you put this in, not only is it going through the parts that you want it to go through, it's also going to go out the other side without bending that metal. So I am putting this quite low down and just keeping my eye on this as I screw this in. Just take the brake disc and the caliper again. This is just going to go on here, held in this side with an AP screw. Get this linkage ready with an IM screw. Already pre-put this in some oil, but that's just going to fit all the way through there like that. Bring the chassis back over, and it is best to work from underside, I find, because this is going to be going in here. This is going to be attached between them, which means because I've got this in the wrong way, I just need to change that round. Simple as that. So as you see, I've got it this way around now. This is going to be going in here, and then the shock is going to be going through here. So I want this IM screw to go through every single one of these holes. So let's get this lined up and screw this in. And it's going in perfectly at the moment. That's lucky. Don't normally get that lucky. Excellent, and that's in place. So turn it back over again. Put the spring onto that shock. Make sure that goes underneath here, so when I push down on this, I can see it from the other side there. EM screw. So hold that into place. And just like last time, I'm going to be taking this track rod end here, putting that on the end, and securing that with a BM screw. And then finally, just taking this bush, the larger side of the bush, and putting that over the top. So now I do have two of these, but that is all there is to do in that stage. So in the stage 15 magazine, we know we're going to be doing a wheel, and we've seen how that goes together. And again, here is the magazine, looking just like that. And in the next stage, looks like we're starting on the gearbox. The engine's coming. This is going to be fun. So just like last time, we're going to be taking the rim section here, pushing that in, matching that off with the lugs on this side to this side here, and holding that in with some BP screws. So that's in place, looking like that. Get a GM screw ready. Brought the car over here. Wheel just going on the top there. Washer in here, and then put that GM screw inside. And that is the four wheels in place. So if I hold it like that, as you see, they do all fold down quite good there. Look at that. Now, once they're in the fold down position, they're going to stay in those positions. You can't really have them that way, because some of these screws here aren't going to allow you to do that, like that one there. So if you do want to tighten them up, it's just the screw here. Don't over tighten them, you're at risk of breaking that part. But basically, the way you'd have them is either in the up position or the down position. You wouldn't have them in a position like of 30 or 45 degrees. But that's the end of that stage. So the last stage of this pack, stage 16, as you can see, we're going to start the gearbox here. So a couple of things to put together. So by the end of it, it's looking just like this. And this is the rest of the magazine here. Excellent. So here is all the parts for the gearbox. And this is the first part I may need. This is all metal, just so you know. The first thing we want is this section of the gearbox here, which is just going to go over the top like that. It's held in with 8M screws. So it takes 2 of those. This is the second one going in here now. Now I must explain something to you. All the parts that you see here are for an automatic gearbox. The Back to the Future DeLorean had a manual gearbox, and that's exactly what we've got here, which means that this plate that they want us to put in here in step 2, we don't actually have a place for that to go, because we don't need to put a base plate in there. So once this ends in here, don't worry about following step 2. We do have these axle mounts to go in, and basically, little rubber section, they're just going to be going on like that. And I'll do the same on the other one. Just like that there. Now, these are just going onto this side of the gearbox. So one's going to go in here like this here. And it's going to be held in with an EP screw from this side. And they should look like that when they're in. Do the same on the other side. So it's just going into here. It has got a D-shaped pattern, so it can only go in one way. And that's the second one in there. And once both of those are in, we can just piece these 2 parts together like that. And they're held in on this side with DM screws. And it takes 2 of these. And when that's finished, it looks like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. That can get confusing with the shape of the gearbox. I'm glad that they've actually sent the proper one that goes with this, so hopefully my instruction there has made things a bit easier if you are following along. But I've enjoyed that. We've done quite a lot of fiddly stuff in this stage. If you want to get this for yourself, once again, I'll put the QR code on the screen and the link is in the video description. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.